The Game Boy SP is back. Now, of course, it's back as a third-party product from Anbernic, but nonetheless, we're going to take a look at it. This will be a review, not a review, impressions, unboxing, I guess, of the RG35XXSP. Again, this is basically a refresh device. It's the exact same as a previous device, just with the SP on the end, which means it's a Game Boy SP clone. So without further ado, let's crack it open and see what it's like. All right, we got the gray model here. So see if I can show this without my background freaking out. It's definitely chunkier than a Game Boy SP, right? Like just looking at that through the camera. Definitely thicker. Definitely a girthier boy here. Otherwise, it feels good. It's got a pretty decent build quality. There's not too much give, not any more than any other device. In fact, this was I think 69.99 USD, a little more after tax, shipping, all that fun stuff. But this feels like a little bit more of an expensive device. It feels like it's more like $120. We got the L1, R1, R2, R1 on the back there. Very clicky. We got two micro SD slots. We have a audio jack. We've got a charging port, USB-C. Looks like a mini HDMI or some kind of docking port. Volume slider, power, all that fun stuff. The hinge even the hinge is like identical to the Game Boy SP, right? But let's open it up here. I already turned the device on. If you're familiar with Anbernic or have used any of their devices, you'll recognize that this looks very similar to any of those devices. Same kind of operating system. We now have two recessed divots, though, both for the D-pad and for the face buttons. Otherwise, the other buttons, start, select, all that, are in the exact same spots they are on the actual Game Boy SP. Screen, though, of course, is a bit bigger, takes up more of that actual screen area. Doesn't have that big board or bezel around with that says Game Boy SP on it, thankfully. Just like the we got sound for navigating the menu. Let's turn that down for now, if I can. There we go. I'm not sure if the button clicks are coming through there, but they are very clicky. Like very, very, very clicky buttons. They feel honestly kind of cheap compared to the rest of the device, at least. Uh, they might even kind of look cheap if you can see that, if it'll focus on it. Not a good first impression of the buttons, at least, but maybe maybe they'll grow on me a little bit. Who's to say? Now, I ordered the 64 gigabyte version. Normally, Anbernic, you have an option to order the device itself or order it with a micro SD card that has a bunch of games on. Now, I thought I ordered the one that had nothing, just the device itself. But, so the 64 gigabyte model, nothing else. Now, I could be wrong. They might have changed the way they've done this, but this came with the SD card. So you can see it right there. You can take it out. There's a 64 gigabyte SD card there. And it actually does have tons of games on it, which is strange because normally that's the thing you pay a little extra for, but it seems like they just threw that in, maybe because of the price of the device. I'm not sure. But be aware of that. You order this device, you will get a micro SD card regardless of, I think, which one you order, and it will have games on it. Obviously, if you do your own ROM things, you know how to format it, you know how to put your own stuff on there. It's not a problem, but just be aware that you're going to get that. You're going to get that SD card full of all kinds of games from all kinds of systems, which some people might like. They don't have to do the work themselves, or they don't have to redo the work of downloading their favorite games, putting them in wherever. But in terms of Anbernic's side, that's of course a little shady thing to do. Overall, though, just quick impressions of the device. Feels good. Feels like it's made well. Don't like the clickiness of the buttons. Thicker than I expected. Like, this is pocketable still, but it's pretty thick. Like, this is like 3/4 of an inch or so. And I'm just guessing here, but it's not as thin as the Game Boy SP at all. If I'm remembering properly. But yeah, that's what I have to say so far. Very clicky buttons. very thick compared to what I thought it was going to be. Now, obviously, most people are getting this device because of the form factor. Otherwise, you would have just gotten a 35XX. It's the same chipset, same everything. Form factor is the only difference, but a lot of people are nostalgic for this form factor, and I think for a handheld like the Game Boy Advance, it is the best form factor. I think it's easier to hold, obviously easier to pocket, and it's nice not having to worry about the screen if you throw it in a bag or something. So, maybe in about a week or so after playing with the device, adding my own stuff onto it, testing it, we will do a quick review of this bad boy. But until then, I thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of this device. Are you considering it just for the form factor like I did? And does this being the same chipset, does this do anything for you, or are you going to wait for maybe a refresh of this device? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, we will see you all. Have a great one.